Welcome to the module on writing a student achievement objectives for classroom teachers. This module will help you to recognize the characteristics of a high-quality SAO learning goal. Student achievement objectives are content and grade or course-specific learning goals which describe the knowledge and skills that students should know and demonstrate by the end of the course or grade. The focus of the SAO should be ambitious, but realistic for all students in the identified course and grade. And the SAO must be measurable through identified assessments in order to document student learning over the entire year, or if a semester, over the entire semester. The SAO should move beyond a unit and should focus on the critical knowledge and skills of the content area. The SAO includes three components: the learning goal, the assessments, and the targets. Although the SAO will focus on specific knowledge and skills from a slice of the curriculum, all standards and curricular objectives must be taught throughout the year. Let's look at an SAO learning goal to determine its quality. The learning goal states, by the end of the year, 7th grade students will be able to demonstrate their understanding of vocabulary specifically related to English language arts. Based on the way this learning goal is written, there are several reasons that it does not demonstrate high quality. Can you identify at least one of the reasons? Now, let's identify the concerns. The first problem is the use of the word understanding. You cannot measure understanding. There must be a specific method identified for measuring how you know the students have learned and can demonstrate the knowledge and skills identified in the learning goal. Some examples can include writing, creating, or performing. These verbs allow for developing specific criteria for evaluating the quality of students' ability to demonstrate the expectations identified in the learning goal. A second problem is that the focus is on low-level and isolated expectations, memorizing vocabulary definitions related to English language arts. The learning goal is intended to focus on the critical content and skills and measure deep understanding of its content and grade level. Definitions of vocabulary are neither critical content and skills, nor do they reflect deep understanding of the content. Although there is a language standard which expects students to acquire and use accurately grade level appropriate, general academic, and domain-specific words and phrases, the standard states that students should gather vocabulary knowledge when considering a word or phrase important to comprehension or expression. In other words, knowledge of the vocabulary should be the content of reading and writing, not isolated. And the complexity of this standard, as well as the learning goal expectation, is at a DOK level 1. A third problem associated with the learning goal is the lack of clarity as to which vocabulary students are expected to learn and for what purpose. Can we assume that the vocabulary is domain-specific, such as foreshadowing and symbolism? Or is this academic vocabulary that appears in different texts that the students are reading? A high-quality learning goal that could be used for a grade 7 English class. Please read the described learning goal for this SAO. Why is this high quality? The learning goal identifies how the students will demonstrate their ability to comprehend a deep understanding of a text. This demonstration is through a well-written essay in response to a text-dependent analysis prompt. The learning goal identifies the critical content that is expected from a student response. Writing a summary, selecting appropriate and precise text evidence, which supports a claim about the literary elements, an analysis of the interrelationship of the literary elements, and a conclusion about the author's choices. Additionally, the learning goal anticipates that students will not only comprehend the text, as demonstrated through a summary, but also be able to demonstrate deep understanding through an analysis of the literary elements located within the text and supported by accurate and precise text evidence. The ability to analyze interrelationships among concepts and to analyze and interpret authors' crafts, literary devices, is a depth of knowledge level 3 expectations in which students demonstrate strategic thinking and reasoning. A critical aspect of a high-quality SAO is that it is coherent. All expectations and descriptions within each section of the planning pages should support and be aligned to the learning goal. Big ideas allow for ensuring the learning goal supports the question, why does the learning matter? In other words, the knowledge and skills from learning goals should connect the learning expectations from unit to unit, grade to grade, and beyond school. The big idea demonstrates this connection. A big idea which supported by the revised learning goal is comprehending text and analyzing authors' choices allows us to make meaning and clearly interpret the words of others. The standards identified in the SAO learning goal planning section must be the ones associated with the learning goal, bearing in mind that this is a slice of the curriculum. In other words, all standards associated with the content area and grade level should not be included unless they are specifically going to be measured. When asked why the learning goal is important and meaningful, the explanation should go beyond the idea that students need to know this information for the state test. Rather, the explanation should identify why students need to make meaning of text. How will this learning goal allow them to be successful in the future and in real-life situations? As previously discussed, an expectation of a high-quality SAO learning goal is that it represents the highest level DOK that is appropriate for the grade level, content, course, and group of students. It is important to note that the DOK 4 is not the goal. The learning goal may not be at a high level, such as a DOK 3, even in the high school if the course is introductory, such as French 1. And a learning goal may be high level, even in lower grades, such as expecting students in grade 4 to analyze text or to engage in problem-solving tasks in math. The instruction and strategies is to outline what the teacher will be doing rather than what the students will be doing. This includes instructions such as discussing concepts, using modeling and examples as well as non-examples. Examining the complexity of the learning goal and considering that it is a slice of the curriculum will help to determine the amount of time that will be required to teach the learning goal. However, it is important to note that some learning goals will encompass many or even all of the standards taught in the classroom, and therefore will require more time. Our example learning goal incorporates reading comprehension, demonstrating analysis, and writing an essay. This expectation will require multiple times during a week and perhaps an entire class period. Another example is the creation of a video production, which may be the entire focus of the course, so will be taught each day throughout the entire school year. Finally, once the time span is identified, an explanation of why the time span is important should be explained. When all of these components are included in the learning goal and are fully explained through the planning pages, the learning goal can be considered high quality. To learn about high quality assessments and targets, please view the modules for a full